Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we are undertaking a truly fascinating journey. We're going to decode the Zongjing Lu. Now this is a monumental, classical Buddhist text compiled by Master Yanshu. And I know, ancient metaphysical philosophy can sound incredibly dense at first glance. But stick with me, because we're going to unpack it today and reveal just how accessible and honestly how highly relevant it actually is to our lives right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever looked at the sheer volume of spiritual teachings out there? The endless rules, the hundreds of different scriptures, the wildly contradictory advice? And you kind of just wonder, well, if the ultimate truth of the universe is supposed to be singular and absolute, why in the world do we need so many different paths, right? Why doesn't everyone just get the exact same instruction manual? You know, this is the exact paradox Master Yanshu set out to solve over 1,000 years ago.
To make sense of all this, we've got a really clear roadmap we'll follow today. First, we'll look at the source of all. Second, sunlight on the mountain. Third, the golden lion. Fourth, the three contemplations. And finally, returning to the source.
Starting right off with Section 1, the source of all.
To find the foundational thesis of Master Yanshu's massive body of work, we have to look at one single unifying concept, and it's called the One Mind. Master Yanshu proposes that the One Mind is literally the universal root of all phenomena. It's the absolute source of every single teaching. It contains both ultimate reality and, well, our everyday messy experience. Just think about that for a second. Everything, from your daily stress, your passing thoughts, to your deepest anxieties, all the way up to the highest, most transcendent enlightenment, all of it stems from this exact same single source.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the text describes the one mind as having two distinct doors or aspects. On one side, we have the mind of birth and death. This is chaos. It's our everyday life. It's fleeting, like a spark that flashes and is gone. But on the other side, we have the mind of true suchness. This is ultimate peace. It's completely unmoving, pure like the bright moon. Master Yanshu's absolute genius here is showing us that these aren't two different minds. They are the exact same mind. He completely harmonizes our chaotic, fast-paced daily lives with ultimate peace, showing us they're literally just two sides of the exact same coin.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, sunlight on the mountain. So if there is only this one mind, how was this single truth taught to vastly different people? The text offers this breathtakingly beautiful metaphor. It says, like the sun rising, it first illuminates the high mountains, then the flat plains. It basically means the Buddhist teaching, the ultimate truth, is entirely impartial. It's exactly like the sun. It shines everywhere equally. The only difference isn't in the light itself, but in the elevation or the readiness of the minds that are receiving it.
This concept is called Pan Jiao. It's how Master Yanshu categorizes teachings based on the receiver's capacity. And notice, he doesn't categorize any teaching as right or wrong. Advanced practitioners like bodhisattvas are like the high mountains. Because they're higher up, they catch the first, most direct rays of the sun, the highest truth. Everyday people are like the flat plains. They receive that exact same light just a little bit later as a foundational or more gradual truth. The teachings differ not because the truth itself changes, but because the instruction is perfectly tailored to what the audience can actually absorb right at that moment.
But here is where the text introduces a surprisingly wild and honestly kind of humorous metaphor about the sheer power of this truth. It's called the metaphor of the poisoned drum. The text says that the ultimate truth is like a drum completely coated in poison. When you beat that drum in a crowded room, it kills ignorance for absolutely anyone who hears it, even if they plug their ears, even if they have zero desire to listen. The whole point here is that mere exposure to the ultimate truth goes to work on you regardless of your initial intentions. Once you hear it, boom, the process of waking up has already started.
Let's move into Section 3, the golden lion metaphor.
Let's move to and see how this builds using one of the Huayan school's absolute best classifications. Master Yanshu was amazing at using physical metaphors to explain super abstract ideas, and here he uses a statue of a golden lion. Step 1, you look at it and you see only the lion. You're completely caught in the shape, the illusion. Step 2, you realize, oh wait, it's just metal. You see only the gold. This is understanding emptiness. The lion itself isn't real. Step 3, you see both together. You recognize the temporary shape of the lion, but you know its true substance is gold. Step 4, both concepts vanish. You stop overthinking the labels gold and lion and just experience reality exactly as it is. And finally, Step 5, perfect blending. You realize every single atom of the gold contains the entire lion, and the entire lion is just the gold. One is all, and all is one. It's a perfect map for our own evolving understanding of reality.
All right, Section 4, the three contemplations.
Moving from this high-level cosmic philosophy down to the deeply personal, the text gives us a framework called the three contemplations. This comes straight from the Tiantai tradition, and it's the practice of viewing reality in a single thought as simultaneously empty, provisional, and middle. Now, I really want to emphasize something. This isn't just a bit of dry theory for you to memorize. This is meant to be a practical, real-time lens for how you view your everyday life.
Let's break it down real quick. First is empty, realizing that absolutely everything lacks an independent, permanent self. Nothing lasts forever. Second is provisional, acknowledging that, hey, even though things don't last forever, they still exist temporarily right now because of certain conditions. Your cup of coffee might not be eternal, but it is hot and delicious right now. And third is the middle, understanding that reality is non-dual. It's perfectly empty and provisional at the exact same time. The text stresses that a true master doesn't see these as three clunky separate steps. They view the world through all three simultaneously and one unified, instant perspective.
If we contrast those first two views, we actually hit on a contradiction we all feel, right? On one hand, the empty view is all about seeing through the illusion to find spiritual stillness and detachment. But on the other hand, the provisional view is about embracing the temporary, vibrant, super messy reality of the world we actually live in. And honestly, we all feel this tension. We want to be totally zen and unbothered while still deeply, passionately loving our friends, our family, and our lives.
So, the crucial point is, the middle view perfectly resolves this tension. It defines this as three views in a single thought. There is no contradiction whatsoever. The empty and the provisional are perfectly fused together. Because you know the world is ultimately empty and temporary, you don't cling to it with crushing, suffocating anxiety. But because you know it is provisionally real right now, you can engage with it fully and joyfully. The middle view allows us to live fully out in the world without being bound by it. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, returning to the source.
After exploring all this vast, complex philosophy, it all just comes right back down to your own mind. Master Yansho uses a vividly striking metaphor here called the dark house. He says we're like people wandering around inside a completely pitch-black house. Now this house actually contains incredible, hidden treasure, which is our true nature. But because it's so dark, we're stumbling around, bumping into things, and we mistake the random shadows on the floor for venomous snakes. We experience genuine terror, pain, and suffering. But the very moment the lamp of truth is lit, the moment we realize the true nature of the one mind, the darkness just vanishes. We look down and see there were never any snakes at all, only treasure. Realizing the one mind instantly cures our needless suffering and fear.
This next quote perfectly, and I mean perfectly, encapsulates the entire mission of the text. Thousands of branches and 10,000 leaves all share one single root. Master Yansho took the thousands of branches, the wildly different teachings, the varying meditations, the high mountain truths, the flat plane basics, and he harmonized them into one beautiful, cohesive framework. They aren't fighting each other. They're all feeding from the exact same root of the one mind.
We have covered a lot of ground today, from the metaphysical heights of the Golden Lion down to the depths of the Dark House. But I want to leave you with a thought directly inspired by Master Yansho's ultimate message. If everything we've talked about, all the peace, all the clarity, the entire universe of truth, isn't out there in some dusty book, but is actually already inside your very own one mind, where will you look next? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep learning and keep looking inward.